Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Lee Forrest. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I'm the director of the GLBTA Pride Center. I'm so glad that you are all attending this virtual Lavender graduation ceremony. By showing up to this virtual ceremony, you are showing up for each other. By being here right now, you are choosing hope over despair. You are choosing community over isolation. And it is in community that we thrive. Thank you for continuing to co-create our beloved community. And thank you for coming to celebrate the achievements of the Lavender graduation class of 2020. I'd like to send a special thanks to the BSU Information Technology team for making sure this virtual ceremony runs smoothly. To say they've had a lot to do lately is an understatement. Please know how much we appreciate all you're doing to make the Lavender graduation a priority. The Lavender graduation is one of my favorite events because it is the culmination of why we are all here at BSU. Lavender graduates, you did it. You have reached your goal and have achieved this life milestone. Lavender graduates, do you remember your first day at BSU? Just think about how much you've learned since then and how many people you've met. Take a moment, pat yourselves on the back, take in just how much you've accomplished and how far you've come. I'm so proud to be celebrating with you today. At this time, it is my distinct honor to introduce a man who has not wavered in his commitment to LGBTQ and ally students at BSU. His promise of inclusion has not been compromised by the challenges presented and highlighted by the COVID-19 crisis. In fact, he is even more resolute in making sure the most vulnerable among us are not left behind. As is the BSU way, we will not let difficulty dictate possibility. Under his leadership, BSU will keep doing our best to make sure that LGBTQ and ally students continue to have access to BSU's affordable and quality education, and that they are fully supported once they're here. Please welcome the president of Bridgewater State University, Mr. Fred Clark.
Thank you very much, Lee. I want to welcome all of our students, any faculty, staff, members of our Alumnex family that are here joining us as well. These are such unusual times. A couple of months ago, would anyone on this call have known what a Zoom Square was? I might have thought it was a breakfast bar or dessert or something, or imagining that you could go into a bank with a baseball cap, dark sunglasses, and a bandana pulled over your nose, and everyone would look at you approvingly. It's kind of like the upside down world of Stranger Things, but here we are, and as Lee just said, we remember who we are, and we will not be slowed or deterred in our mission by a pandemic or any other obstacle that comes in our way. But I do want you to know I'm very honored to be with all of you tonight to celebrate you and to celebrate the successful completion of what we know is a major milestone in your lives. Here at Bridgewater, we use this term a lot. We say every student, one student at a time. I probably say that at least once an hour. But what that term means to me is that we want every student to succeed, and that we are committed and determined to eliminate all achievement gaps. And all means all. All students, no matter their race, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, gender, or other identities, should have an equal and equitable opportunity to reach their highest potentials and to fulfill their dreams. And I am very proud, and I know all of us on this call are very proud of the fact that Bridgewater has been nationally recognized several times for advancing the success of LGBTQ students. And that recognition definitely symbolizes the efforts we make every day to create a safe, inclusive, and equitable campus where everyone can be who they are and experience a sense of belonging. I do want to thank our Vice President for Student Success and Diversity, Dr. Sabrina Gentlewarrior, Lee Forrest, our Director of the Pride Center, and so many others across this campus that have helped us to be a leader in advancing the success of our students. Yes, we were amongst the first colleges in Massachusetts to open a Pride Center back in the day, dedicated to LGBTQ student success. Yes, we were amongst the first universities in the nation to collect optional student data for LGBTQ students. Yes, we've worked hard to have inclusive bathrooms for transgendered students and to offer transgendered inclusive health insurance, and to open a Lavender living community and have inclusive housing policies as well. Tomorrow, I'm happy to report, Lee does not know this, hopefully Sabrina does, our cabinet will adopt a modernized name and use, gender identity, and pronouns in use policy for Bridgewater State for all of our students, faculty, and staff. We've done well, but I have to say, and Lee and Sabrina will know that I'm going to say this, but we refuse to rest. And if we're honest with ourselves, truly honest, we know that we can do more, that we can be even better. But for us to succeed, and particularly for our graduating students, we're going to need your help. But before I ask you to help, I want to remind everybody that we're celebrating you, your achievements, your hard work, your determination, your strength in overcoming barriers, and in short, your success. We know so very well that every single one of you have earned your degree. You worked hard for those degrees. And we are very, very proud of each one of you for all that you've accomplished here at Bridgewater as students. And all of us are proud of you individually for what you've demonstrated through leadership and service to others. I do want to say to parents, friends, mentors, allies in attendance and those not in attendance, thank you to you as well, because behind every great student is a whole entire community who supported them, made them feel included and loved, and encouraged them to work hard and to reach higher. I also want to thank our faculty and staff who might be on this call, and if they're not, I want to thank them anyway. Thank you for your commitment to our students, for mentoring, guiding, and supporting those students, for going the extra mile in the Bridgewater way, for caring and being involved in helping them to succeed, and most importantly, to believe in themselves. Our strength is found in the diversity of our people. We all come from varied places and backgrounds. We have different identities. We possess diverse talents and have different points of view. But our diversity is not a problem. It's an opportunity. Our differences are what drive our spirit of innovation, challenge us to do better and to be better, to help move us forward. Our diversity should always be celebrated, and at BSU, I promise it always will be. And we will need our graduating students to come back and help us to reduce obstacles, to help us create an even more welcoming environment. Because at this beautifully diverse place, I hope you remember, we are one family united as BSU Bears. And for our graduating Bears, don't forget to come home because we do need your help. And let us know how you're doing because we want to keep tabs on you. We want to follow you through your careers. So on behalf of everyone at Bridgewater State, all of our students, faculty, staff, our alumnex community, please let me say congratulations and thank you. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you so much, President Clark. Now I'd like to introduce this year's Lavender graduation student speaker. Like many of his peers, he too experienced bumps along the road, but he didn't let that stop him from achieving his dreams. Since his first semester at BSU, I've watched this student become the successful man that he is today. In just a few short weeks, all his hard work will be rewarded as he receives his bachelor's degree in psychology with minors in GLBT studies and in women and gender studies. Please welcome the Lavender graduation student speaker for the class of 2020, Riley McGrath.
Thank you, Lee, for your kind words. To begin, I would like to start with a quote that was featured in one of my favorite shows, Pose. Blood does not family make, those are relatives. Family are those with whom you share your good, bad, and ugly, and still love another in the end. Those are the ones you select. Upon hearing this quote for the first time, I thought of my time at Bridgewater State University. Over the last 4 years of my life, BSU has become a home to me, and it is also where I found my chosen family, learned, changed, and grew into the person before you. Not only did I find a home and a family at BSU, I also found myself. The second I stepped on campus for a tour, I knew it was where I wanted to go. I started my journey at BSU young, nervous, and scared, but despite my breakdown in orientation and difficulties adjusting to college life, I am appreciative for the difficult time I had adjusting to being a college student. It also led me to meet my best friend, who I fondly remember sitting on the floor in the hallway, listening to punk music because I was terrified to move out of the house I grew up in. Upon meeting my best friend, I slowly started to feel independent, which is when I began to question my gender identity. I always knew that I was different from my siblings or peers, but never really understood what that meant for me. I started to wonder if I was transgender during the summer before college. I always picked male characters in video games and always looked up to male celebrities, but I never thought of it as anything bigger. Once I got to college, I took my independence in stride and took the opportunity to learn more. Within the first 3 weeks of living at BSU, things started to become clear that I was transgender. Feeling safe in my new home at BSU, I was able to come out and I chose my name. Finding out who I really was changed my life. And like the quote from Pose says, transitioning taught me who my family was. And BSU has allowed me to find this chosen family. As someone who struggled with school before coming to BSU, I wasn't sure how I would do academically. I worked hard at staying organized, found study techniques, and worked very hard. Through hard work and persistence, I found success, which is what brought me here today. I struggled with learning disabilities throughout my life, and slowly worked beyond my difficulties in school. Looking back at my life, I never imagined being able to go to college. However, I found my opportunity to shine and succeed in ways I would have never imagined when I was younger. Having a number of support systems from professors, staff, faculty, and peers allowed my tremendous success here at BSU. I continuously found opportunities throughout my time at BSU. I had the opportunity to work at the GLBTA Pride Center, where I found chosen siblings. I also took the opportunity to work in the psychology research lab, which truly changed my life. Because of my involvement in the psychology research lab, I was able to join a research group that allowed me to go to conferences, do my own research project, conduct interviews, and create a pamphlet that gives back to my community. That is when I worked 4 months on an application for an ATP grant, which gave me opportunities beyond my dreams. I was able to work on a project that I was extremely passionate about, transgender health education. BSU also became the place where I continuously worked to advocate for my community, and I will carry these experiences throughout the rest of my life. Another opportunity I found was working at Father Bill's in Mainsprings. Finding an opportunity much different than my usual work in advocacy, education, and research truly opened me up, teaching me an immense amount about working one-on-one with a disadvantaged population. I also found family in some of the staff there, and I built rewarding relationships with the people I served. It's interesting how life brings you opportunities you would never imagined. Working for Father Bill's in Mainsprings has taught me so much about housing, homelessness, mental health, and especially advocating for others. There is an extremely long list of people I would like to thank you for supporting me throughout this journey. Firstly, to my best friend Jake for always supporting me and teaching me to be a man. To my sister Julia for always being there and enjoying the pictures of cows I sent. To Julia Field for always listening, and Fran Barth for helping me find my way, to Dr. Jackson for her tireless editing, and my fellow period lab members, to my chosen family, who always supported me and helped me find my way, to professors and staff members who became mentors, but also the aunts I needed, and the coworkers and employers that became family, to my chosen mom, Catherine, and especially to my family. And lastly, to everyone in front of me today and the community I found at BSU, I would have never succeeded in the way I did if it wasn't for you. I would like to come full circle by finishing with a quote from a prominent member of the LGBT community, Ellen DeGeneres. This quote is something I often refer to during hard times when I temporarily felt lost about what I was doing. The quote is as follows: "Follow your passion, stay true to yourself, never follow someone else's path unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path. By all means, you should follow that." I share this quote to remind us that we need to carve our own paths and stay true to ourselves. For my fellow graduates, remember where you came from, how far you've come, and everything that is ahead of you. Despite the hard times and hours stuck in the library or staring at a textbook trying to figure out what one sentence means, we have done it. Despite the ups and downs, I know we can leave BSU with our heads held high, our passions in our heart, and pride in knowing we stayed true to ourselves. This has been a long and difficult yet amazing journey. And above all else, remember to be true to yourself no matter what comes your way. Congratulations and good luck as you continue your journey on your path.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Riley. Lavender graduates, even though in a couple of weeks you will no longer be Bridgewater students, you will always be a part of the Bridgewater family. And soon you will be welcomed into a community of LGBTQ+ alumni. We want you to remain connected to your BSU family. So the Pride Center and Alumni Services have joined forces to bring you the LGBTQ+ Alumnix group. Here to tell you all about the opportunities this group offers is Kate Hayes-Hewer, BSU, class of 2011.
Thanks, Lee. Hi all. I'm excited to have this opportunity to tell you about the BSU LGBTQ+ Alumnix Council. Our mission is to support past and present members of the campus community by promoting equality and celebrating diverse identities. We strive to accomplish this mission through education, advocacy, networking, and engagement. We had our first ever meeting last July and spent lots of time planning what we had hoped would be great events for members of our community, which, like so many of our plans, had to be set aside. I'm sure you're especially feeling this today. So we'd like to extend our congratulations, not only for completing your degree programs, but for persevering through a stressful and uncertain final semester. Although you're graduating soon, we invite you to stay connected as a new member of the LGBTQ+ Alumnix Council. Whether you'd like to be a full council member or contribute your expertise or talent as a special guest at one of our events, there is a place for you here. Please consider joining our next remote meeting on Monday, June 1st at 6:00 p.m. As an attendee of Lavender graduation, you'll be receiving the link directly by email. If you're interested in joining us or simply have questions, please email alumni@bridgew.edu. Congratulations to the class of 2020, and we welcome you to a vibrant and resilient community of LGBTQ+ graduates from Bridgewater State University.
Thank you, Kate. We will now announce this year's Lavender graduates, the moment you've all been waiting for. In prior years, LGBTQ and ally alumni presented a stole to each Lavender graduate as their name was called. Lavender graduates will still receive their stoles this year, but they'll receive it when they check in for the BSU commencement ceremony. This year, in keeping with the tradition of alumni welcoming Lavender graduates into the BSU alumni community, volunteer alumnix will take turns reading the names of the Lavender graduates. They will also indicate Those Lavender graduates who, by earning an overall GPA of 3.5 or higher, will receive an academic achievement certificate signed by President Clark. The alumni volunteers are Yvonne Mezoff, she, her pronouns, in class of 2019. Ashlyn Marlowe Cicada, she, her pronouns, in class of 2018. Kate Hayes Hewer, they, them pronouns, in class of 2011. Jamie McGonigal, he, him pronouns, in class of 1997. Let's get started with announcing the names of the Lavender graduates with this first slide. Yvonne, will you get us started?
Thank you, Lee. We have Ariane Anati, she, her pronouns, BS in psychology, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Christabel Ba, BS in health studies and psychology. Sarah Elizabeth Barbosa, BSW in social work. Megan Beal, BS in psychology. Dennis Begley, he, him pronouns, BA in humanities. Marsha Borden, BSW in social work, academic achievement certificate. Joseph Boyasian, BS in criminal justice. Carrie Branquino, BSW in social work, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Jessica Bullock, BA in art. Candy Booten, she, her pronouns, BSW in social work. Kayla Maria Canny, she, her pronouns, BA in strategic communications, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Torianne B. Yorkman, she, her pronouns, BS in psychology. This is Ashlyn.
Thank you. Our next Lavender graduate is Tanya Connor with a BS, she, her pronouns, with a BS in psychology. Sophia W. De Silva, she, her pronouns, with a BA in arts. Cody Doheny, BS in psychology. Lainey Ellen Drew, BA in English, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Mary Doobie, BS in geography, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Lauren Dumashall, BA in Spanish language and BA in communication studies, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Dominique Durden, she, her pronouns, BS in psychology. Marquis Earl, BS in social work. Anna Fatiger, BS in mathematics, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Victoria Galvin, she, her pronouns, BS in biology. Tanilda Gomes, BA in accounting and finance with concentration in accounting and BA management with concentration in HR. Riley Granger, they, them, BA in English, receiving an academic achievement certificate.
Rydia Hayes Hewer, they, them pronouns, BS in physics with concentration in astrophysics and minors in math and computer science. Hannah Hutchinson, she, her pronouns, BA in history, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Tiffany Kong, BS in aviation science. Jay Lamb, he, him pronouns, BA in studio arts. Eric Lander, he, him pronouns, BA in communication studies with concentration in film, video, and media. Sarah Larinard, she, her pronouns, BS in physical education. Tesserae LaSalle, they, them pronouns, BS in chemistry with concentration in biochemistry. Nicholas Lascola, BA in English, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Colin Loftus, BA in political science. Jennifer Marmion, she, her pronouns, BA in early education and care, receiving an academic achievement certificate. Riley McGrath, he, him pronouns, BS in psychology. Letitia Namanda, she, her pronouns, BA in Accounting and Finance.
Darian Ortega, BA in Social Science, receiving an Academic Achievement Certificate. Nahal Pishtadian, she, her pronouns, receiving a BS in Special Education. Kathleen Purple, she, her pronouns, BA in English, receiving an Academic Achievement Certificate. Michelle Robinson, she, her pronouns, BA in Secondary Education and a BA in English, receiving an Academic Achievement Certificate. Manuel Rodriguez, BS Chemistry. Jessica Rodriguez, BS in Criminal Justice. Dylan Rowe, he, him pronouns, BSW, receiving an Academic Achievement Certificate. Mary Romanowski, she, her pronouns, BA in English. Yanni Sapant, he, him pronouns, BA in Communications with concentration in Film, Video, and Media. Dai Sar, BS in Chemistry. Davina Sardina, BS in Computer Science. Nicole Schiffler, she, her pronouns, BA in Political Science.
Natasha Sharak, BA in Science. Sarah Smith, she, her, BA Communication Studies with concentration in Film, Video, and Media Studies, receiving an Academic Achievement Certificate. Marta Souza, BS in Aviation Science. Brianna Tavares, she, her pronouns, receiving a BSW in Social Work. Jenny Taylor, she, her pronouns, BSW Social Work, receiving an Academic Achievement Certificate. Silas Teixeira da Silva, BS in Criminal Justice. Nick Tompkins Hughes, they, them pronouns, BSW Social Work. Victoria Washington, she, her pronouns, BA in Sociology. Carolyn Wilbur, BA in English and Secondary Education. Yos Yelenelch, she, her pronouns, BS in Criminal Justice. Stephanie Zawodowitz, BS in Psychology. Congratulations again, all the Lavender graduates, class of 2020. We are very, very proud of you. We will now hear some truly inspiring words from a person who has not only dedicated her professional life to diversity and inclusion, but her personal life as well. It is my honor to introduce Vice President of Student Success and Diversity, Dr. Sabrina Gentle Warrior.
Thank you, Lee. It's such a pleasure to be with you all this evening. Thank you for coming. I'm going to be spending my comments thanking a whole bunch of folks, but one of the first people I want to thank is Lee Forrest. The work around LGBTQ+ equity, student success, inclusion is truly a community effort. But those of us who know BSU well, like all of us on this Zoom Teams time together, know that Lee Forrest is an amazing leader for the BSU community. So though Lee can't hear us or see us, know that there's a whole lot of snapping and clapping and cheering and just general hurrahing coming to you in your direction, Lee Forrest. Thank you for all that you do. As we gather here in this virtual space together, I know that part of what is in the back of our minds is that we are longing for the day when we will be together in person on our beloved campus. We miss being together, and we miss being together at BSU. So I'm going to do a very, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a social worker. So I'm going to do a very social worky thing. I'm going to ask you to just imagine something a minute. In your mind's eye, imagine that we are back on the grounds at BSU. And I heard just this morning that they're planting flowers. So there's flowers and the grounds are beautiful and the buildings look great. And What's really thrilling, though, is here in our mind's eye together, we are all there together. And in this imagining, look at the community that you know is BSU. Look at the diversity. Look at the welcome. Experience the joy, the respect. And as President Clark often reminds us, how often we really do hold doors open for each other, both literal and more symbolic. So as we imagine being there together at BSU, we're going to thank some folks like we were sitting there in the ballroom. We're going to thank folks and we're going to cheer you on. Even though we're in our separate spaces, know that the cheering and the love and the support and the gratitude is just as real. I want to first echo some of the amazing comments that Riley made. Thank you, Riley, so much. Family. Family is so important for all of us. It's a human thing. But for some members, for some of us in the LGBTQ+ community, sometimes family is those we're related to genetically, and sometimes not. So to all family members, by genetics and by choice, on behalf of the graduates, as a member of the GLBTQ+ community, let me say thank you. Family is not something my community can take for granted. And you have shown up for our graduates. You have made it possible, in addition to all of their hard work, for this time of success and joy and celebration to occur. Thank you for standing with your graduate and for supporting your graduate. We are truly grateful. Then to our amazing GLBTAQ+ alumnics. You all rock. You just keep coming home. And we love that. We count on you for that. We count on you for your good counsel and your excitement and your joy and helping us think through so many different things on behalf of our students. Keep coming home. We're going to keep opening the door for you and keep looking forward to seeing you. To our allies, you know who you are. You may not be a member of our community, but nevertheless you choose to stand with us and for us. And our allies help us often survive and thrive. Thank you to the faculty, librarian, staff, administrators of BSU who are allies. Thank you to the family members, the friends, the external community members who are allies. Your solidarity, the way you are choosing to use your privilege on behalf of our community matters. Thank you. You too have helped the graduates get to this place this evening. And finally, graduates, we are so absolutely proud of you. We know from our data about our BSU students generally that BSU students overall work more than the national norm, do more caregiving of families than the national norm. You all are busy folks. And then we added in the difficulties, the pain, the fear, the trauma of COVID-19. This is a difficult time. And in the midst of all of your responsibilities and all that is true in this time in our history, as a nation and as a world, you have persevered. We are over the moon with pride and joy and gratitude that you have persevered, you have worked hard, and you have done all that needed to be done to engage in BSU's extraordinary, exceptional liberal arts educational process. And you are going to be one of our graduates. And we can't wait to welcome you as an alumnus of BSU. Now, one of the things I find great hope for as it relates to the graduates of BSU generally, and also specifically our LGBTQ+ life grad, is that we know that a liberal arts public higher education degree changes lives. It changes the lives of the people who receive them. It often changes the lives of their families and their communities. And we are so proud to be part of that process. But one of the things we love about BSU graduates is you all go out with that and not only help that degree, that knowledge, that liberal arts education, your critical thinking skills, your cultural competencies, you not only use them on behalf of yourself and whoever you work with and for, and your families and your communities, you all go out and change the world. Thank you. Thank you for using who you are, what you know, what you've learned in the process of doing good for others. It matters. We're changing the world sometimes one person at a time, but let's keep it going. Tonight, in whatever way you can, celebrate yourselves. Celebrate the accomplishment. Celebrate who you are, and know that the BSU community, the alumnics, who we are as an institutional family, are joining you in that celebration. Thank you for allowing me to share a few words this evening. Lee, thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. And thank you, all the LGBTQ alumnics that volunteered to do this. I'm so grateful. Thank you to Kate for representing the group that I hope everyone joins. Thank you, Riley, for your very moving speech. Thank you, President Clark, for your promise of inclusion. I appreciate each and every one of you, like so many people have already said. I too mean it from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations again, Lavender graduates, class of 2020. Our ceremony has come to a close, but despite being physically distanced, we will remain together in our hearts and in our minds. Thank you again, and have a wonderful evening.